What is going on, everybody? For those who don't know, I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Talk Podcast. Today, we got a special guest, someone who, YouTube channel is growing. She does a lot of stuff off YouTube, on YouTube, so she's starting to be consistent. So I like her stuff, so I wanted to get her on here. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Simone. YouTube and Instagram, Simone with the Sports. I'm a journalist in Atlanta, Georgia. Originally from North Carolina, went to NC State, so go Pack. I've been a Philly fan for life. I know it's all over the place, North Carolina, Atlanta. Where did Philly come from? But it's a long story, but Philly for life.
That's what's up. But before we get any further, I got two people that I collab with every Saturday. We call ourselves the Battle Birds Podcast. Let me shout them out. They're not in here right now, but they might tune in a little bit. And that's Gate City Sports and Philly Fresh. And Gate City is a huge NC State fan. So, it's he tries to mention it at least once per live. So it's good. Definitely when he watches the rerun, he'll definitely like that.
That's good.
But yeah, so let me say what up to people in the chat real quick. BLSG. He said, "What's up, Eagle Nation?" Chris, Rome one more, Nightheart, Eagle Season, Nightheart 316, Rod Clip, Stephen Joyce, Glenn, Colin. You guys coming in quick, but appreciate y'all for stopping by. And like I said, so she introduced herself. So I got a quick question for her before we get into anything else. Let's go back a little bit of off season. So the signing of Hargrave and Slay. What's your take on that?
I love those two signings. So Javon Hargrave, specifically HBCU alum. So that's good that he's, showing out in the NFL. Former Pittsburgh Steeler. My mom is a crazy Pittsburgh fan. So when we got him, I was like, yeah, Mom, we got your dude. Javon, I feel like he was a little bit slept on. He was a part of the Steelers' crazy defensive line. Yes, he wasn't a starter at first, but he coming in for Stephon Tuitt, I mean, just even be able to be his backup, being such a young guy, is very impressive. Not only did he come in when he was hurt, but he showed out. He had a sack against the Ravens. Very, very good games. Great steal for us. I feel like very slept on guy, and I'm excited that we got him and added him with Malik Jackson and Fletcher Cox. Like, we're going to tear up some offenses. I'm ready.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And when it comes to the Eagles defense, it all starts at the D-line. That's where we make our money. That's what we've been building for the last decade or so. And I like the fact that when he played for the Steelers, he played in the 3-4. He was a nose tackle. He didn't have a big guy like Fletch next to him, helping him out in the middle. So that's definitely going to be good. But let's hit this topic quick before we jump into other things, because it's going to be a hot topic. People are going to be talking about this. Chris Kaufman Jr. said, with Lane having COVID, look for opt-outs to spike. What is your take on that?
I can definitely see that happen. I hate for it to happen, but I definitely can see it happening. We're seeing guys trickle in more and more, and then once it hits closer to home for them, and they're like, okay, my teammate has it, and they're hitting each other up like, Lane, how you feeling? Are you symptomatic? And if he's feeling terrible, we already saw, like, in baseball, I live in Atlanta, so we saw Freddie Freeman was basically like he was on his deathbed, and that's a healthy guy, athletic guy. So these athletes are like, oh, dang, even though, I work out, I have a good diet, I can still, be heavily affected from the virus. So I feel like we're definitely going to see more guys trickle in saying they're going to opt out. I hate to see it. I just hate it so much. I know it's smart for them, but, we got to have some football.
Yeah, I second that. Like, I'm a family man. I was working through this whole pandemic. My job is essential. But I made sure I took all the precautions. I got a 10-month-old. I got a 5-year-old. So, but I understand. I totally understand. And as a family man, I can't be mad. But like you, I want to see some football. I really want to see some football. But I also want to say this. In my last couple of live streams videos, I said, I don't think many more people are going to opt out. I think with training camp starting to be up, they knew for the last week or so that training camp was going to happen yesterday or the day before. So they probably did their talking amongst their family, their friends, all that stuff through this whole week. So the people that opted out probably talked about it. I don't think you're going to see many more unless something like Chris said and something I said. If we get a breakout like the Marlins had, If the Marlins, you get like 15 players on one team, coaches, players, you get a breakout like that, that might change the view for a lot of people. I don't think one or two sparing cases, especially how fast the facilities are catching these guys and keeping them quarantined. They're quarantining people who not only test positive, that could possibly come in contact with someone who tested who had it. So they're doing their due diligence, and I just believe.
Yes. Hello? You broke up?
That happened. I made sure I went back to my old router too. I tried a new router yesterday, it didn't really work.
You said you just believe. You said I just believe something, and then you broke up.
Oh no, I just believe that guys are going to stay true to what they decide, unless something crazy happens.
Yeah, I definitely agree, and I feel like, since the NFL, a lot of people are like, oh, they should have been in a bubble. I don't think it was really feasible, especially with such short term, because the NBA bubble, they already had that basketball facility like in Orlando. They don't have anything already, set up for a whole 90, 80 man roster NFL team and personnel staff. So the best that they really can do is the testing, frequently and every day, and then having those guys quarantined. So if they can do that, then, we shouldn't see outbreaks like the Marlins. I don't know what the Marlins had going on. We already know, it's nasty down there, but I know the New England states are, one of the safer states right now. They're doing the most, to protect, and they had the least amount of cases. So hopefully they're doing what they need to do in Philly. And they stay out the clubs and the strip clubs.
Yeah. That's the one thing that the NBA got that's great. The bubble. They really can't get cases of COVID in there unless people are doing more Lou Will type things.
Right.
But it should be pretty safe over there unless nobody does some crazy stuff. But the NFL, they're going to be traveling. Same with baseball. All this traveling, different facilities, different places, so many staff members. There's just so many people on the sidelines of a football team. But I love the takes on the offseason signings. Let me get your takes on these rookies real quick. Go ahead, give me a breakdown on a couple of the rookies, how you think they're going to do. Are we going to get anybody who's going to perform, year one, you think?
Well, definitely Jalen, and now we might even see Jack Driscoll, depending on what happens with Lane Johnson. I think we did very well in the draft. Jalen Reagor, I know people were saying, why did we get him? Justin was still on the board at the time. I feel like, we did well with Jalen. He's a very speedy guy, and Carson Wentz thrives off having, those speedy deep threat receivers. We didn't have that last season when Deshaun Jackson got hurt, and we really had to dink and dive, down the field. We never had that clutch catch we could get from Deshaun like we so used to, even when he was, playing with Vic and stuff. So I think Carson Wentz would definitely thrive. Carson was even still very accurate last season in deep ball accuracy, even having Greg Ward as his, target. He was top 10 in deep ball accuracy. So imagine what he could do if he had, a speedster guy. I know we were going heavy with speed, even with Quez and the other guys that we got at wide receiver. I heard somebody saying we got 4 guys with 4.4, record time, and we just really put an emphasis on having that speed. So I think that was definitely clutch. I think even though it's controversial and some people in the comments are going to have a lot to say, but I love the move with Jalen Hurts as well. I love the guy in college, and I think just having that backup quarterback option. Oh, you mad? You wasn't loving that move? I think
it was all right.
Not necessarily because it was Jalen Hurts, but just the fact that we're going to have, we don't have Nick Foles anymore. We saw last season, wild card weekend, we could have won that game if we had Jalen Hurts over Josh McCown. True or false?
Probably true.
Exactly. So the fact that they have that mindset, I know it's kind of controversial because people are saying, oh, you're assuming Carson Wentz is going to get hurt, but you got to be smart, and he has been getting hurt. God willing, he stays healthy, but the numbers are showing that he might not make it through a whole season. And maybe if he doesn't have to play, all those downs when it's not necessarily, Jalen Hurts can come in on 4th down, do a couple running plays or whatever. It also is going to, confuse the defense as well. Like, what kind of packages are we going to have? So I'm definitely excited just to see like some of the plays that we're going to be able to call, having that quarterback package. And Jalen Hurts is a very dynamic dual threat quarterback on the run, and we see that in Lamar Jackson, how he was able to shake things up. So I love that pick, number 2. I feel like we did well going down. We definitely addressed, the offensive line. We grabbed some more receivers. Good thing we did, because a lot of people were like, how many receivers we gonna get? But look, we just lost 2 in one day. So good thing we addressed that.
Real quick, shout out to Murph DeCanzo, a channel member. He says, Simone with sports. Is this your YouTube? We want to sub you up. Go ahead for the people who just jumping in. We got about 34, 35 people in here.
Yeah, it's Simone with the sports. SYMONE with the sports. Instagram as well. So you can find me there.
There we go. Yeah, so just to
but I want to hear what you got to say, because I see a lot of comments on Jalen Hurts. I knew that was going to spark some debate.
Yeah, I think it's a real 50-50. Let's also see what they say. So, Cool Eagle said, I also like the pick for Jalen Hurts, but don't take as much into it like everybody else does. I hear you. Chris said, true, Simone, talking about how you said, he could come in and relieve some stuff and along them lines. I want to touch on based on the Jalen Hurts thing real quick. I just think where we got him at with the second round pick, I seen a couple guys on the board who I really like. Christian Fulton from LSU, cornerback who can play on side of Darius Slay, really take that question mark possibility from our number 2 corner. You got a guy like Zach Bond, who the Saints picked up, who we were desperate at linebacker. Even though the league is falling away from linebackers, it's all about that big nickel, dime packages and stuff like that. And also, our guy – one time our guy Denzel Mims was there before he done, opened his mouth and whatnot. I think he was butt hurt. But listen, Jalen Hurts is a dynamic player. I think he needs to, learn some stuff in the NFL before he can come in and read all the defenses and the complex defenses that are thrown in the NFL. But he's definitely a solid guy. And I'm going to say this, we talk a lot about Wentz on this channel and a couple of other channels. To me, he's a top 5 talent. I will understand all the criticism when it comes to his health, because I can't excuse him not being available. He needs to be the last quarterback to throw a pass for the Eagles. He hasn't been. But I just don't understand people say when he's on the field, he's not talented. When he's on the field, he's the guy. He just got to stay on the field. So hope this doesn't come back to bite us. And like I said, we got to put things around him. But hey, Jalen Hurts is a Philadelphia Eagle, and I support all 53 men on the roster. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Yeah. Now, I'm probably a little bit biased because I love watching Jalen Hurts in college, so I'm definitely biased when it comes to that.
He said subbed up at 140. Everyone sub up. See, hey, it's been going up. I mean, when I subbed her up, she was right around that 120 something. But yeah, definitely, like I said, she gonna give you some basketball stuff too. She gonna give you some general news about the NFL, but she keeps the more, the heart wrench stuff about the Eagles.
Yeah, gotta keep that Eagles at. You know what I'm saying?
He said we could have picked up a good linebacker. He's also saying about that second round pick.
Yeah, that's true.
What's going on, Eric? Let's get to some of these real quick before we get into another topic. If you actually watch Reagor's tape, you'll see how
that comment.
Huh?
I saw that comment come through, and I was like, "This one."
Yeah. He said if you actually watch Reagor's tape, you'll see how his quarterback was terrible, and Reagor bailed him out of terrible passes with the playmaking catches. Hey, that's Seth, true. I agree 100% with you. He had one of the worst quarterbacks in college. If you look at the metrics, I mean, he had 33% of his passes, I believe, were uncatchable. Wow. And when it came to contested catches, out of all the players in the first round, that's CeeDee Lamb, Jerry Jeudy, Justin Jefferson, and my guy Jalen Reagor, he led the league. He led all of them with 27 contested catches. So I mean, the guy can do some things.
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely excited to see him.
But let me ask you this: in the first round, when the Eagles were up, who did you think we were going to pick? And then also let me know how you again feel about the Jalen Reagor pick.
Well, at that point, okay. I don't know what pick it was when CD was still on the board, but I just knew, I already knew the Cowboys weren't going to let us have anything. So I just knew, when, you trying to stay positive, but you deep down know like the inevitable. I knew the Cowboys were not going to let us have anything because the fact that CD was on the board for so long, it was just way too good to be true. So you know what I'm saying? Like, and then the way they were just smiling, like Jerry Jones was cheesing on the yacht, like my stomach was turning, literally. I'm like, we're about to get CD Lamb. And I've got so many like Cowboys haters that are my friends, so you know they're blowing my phone up. So I was like, okay, when our pick came up, I knew we were going wide receiver. I wasn't really thinking Jalen. I was really thinking Justin because, you know, so many mock drafts, so many Eagles insiders were saying we were heavy on Justin early, very early. So I was assuming we were going to get, you know, Justin. But I'm satisfied with Jalen Reagor. I mean, people were saying we could have got him in the second round. Yeah. But, you know, you never know what their long-term plan is. Maybe they were planning, you know, ahead of time to get Jalen Hurts, and they didn't want, you know, to wait for the third round for Jalen Hurts. So I don't know. I mean, the draft is definitely hard. I did an internship with the Atlanta Dream, the WNBA team. So I was able to sit like in the war room when they were drafting and stuff. And it's stressful. Okay. It's stressful, especially watching people fly off the board. So I'm like, I know that, you know, they were in there, you know, thinking hard and trying to figure out what, especially when CD Lamb was there, and they're like, are we going to be able to get him? Like, shoot, are we going to be able to get CD? And then seeing him get snatched, like.
Yeah. I guaranteed Howie was calling up to Atlanta trying to get that 16th pick. I just think the cornerback that Atlanta got, they didn't feel like he was going to be there at our pick, so they tried to snag him. But yeah, shout out to Cool Eagle. Appreciate the super chat, my guy. He says, I feel like we are solid at key positions, especially with having the 8th easiest schedule. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, with that bringing us to that, let me answer a couple more, and then I want to ask you your take on how you feel. We don't got to break down each and every game, but kind of what you think a record will be. But shout out to Vance. He said, I hope the 2020 season starts. I can't stand COVID-19. Yay. We feel you on that. Health is the reason that Philly does not have another ring within the last 3 seasons.
Facts.
Brad, right. Definitely. Let's get to. Okay. We got a Vikings fan in here, but he's been with the channel for a little bit. Nick Diaz, he said Jefferson over Reagor. Not hating, just my opinion. I mean, of course you got to take your receiver, my guy. You know what I mean? It's cool though. It's cool.
Yeah.
But Brad White said Reagor is young, talented dog. Yeah, you already know. Mm-hmm. But so let's get into it. So chat, you guys can let us know too. Throw out your picks. I'm gonna put them on the screen. I might not say them, especially if a lot of people say it, but let us know what y'all think our record is. I know we do this a lot, but let us know. She'll get to see what some of y'all think when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles record. But where do you got us ballpark, you know?
I would say around 11-5. The only reason why I say that is because this season is just so unpredictable. And like one of our friends said earlier, I forgot his name, but he said health is the reason why, you know, we don't have multiple Super Bowls right now. And now is a time where it's like, dang, Lane Johnson, dang, Alshon, like already 2 of our guys are question marks at the moment. And yeah, I just feel like our toughest games are going to come up against the Saints, definitely the Saints. And that's going to be an interesting game because we're going to be seeing Malcolm Jenkins, and it's going to be so hard for us to see Malcolm Jenkins. And we know how smart Malcolm Jenkins is, and we already know he's been reading, knowing our, you know, what we're going to do back and front. He knows our players, knows our tendencies. Like, that's going to be a tough game to watch because I love me some Malcolm Jenkins. But Nikhil, like, he's going to be playing against the Saints fans for the first time since that NFC Championship game. And, you know, they hate Nikhil or Coleman. So, you know, those fans are going to be ready, you know, to taunt him. That's a game where I don't want fans, okay? But they're going to be ready to taunt Nikhil. And they have just a nasty offense. One of the top offensive lines, not only just top offensive line, but their offense in general. I mean, Kamara and Michael Thomas and Drew Brees, and then their secondary is very, very, very strong as well. So that's the game where we're going to have to be sharp on every side of the ball. The Ravens, I think that's going to be a tough game as well, especially since we don't match up against the Ravens often. The Ravens as well, very, very, very dominant offense. It's going to be cool to see our defensive line going up against that offense because we know our defensive line very strong, and the Ravens are a very run-heavy team. So it'll be definitely cool to see them matching up. The Ravens as well has a very good secondary, and we know our wide receiver situation is a big question mark right now. So these are like the games I can see us getting a possible L. You never know. I don't want to say it, but these are games like possible L. Of course, the Cowboys is a great chance we're going to split there. So that's probably going to be one of our L's. San Fran, that's going to be a hard game. I mean, like I said, D-line is going to be ready. I'm not really scared of Jimmy throwing the ball. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about y'all. I'm not really shook about that. But that's going to be, a tough game for us. The Steelers, we don't match up against the Steelers that often. And the Steelers, they got the top D-line. We don't know what's going on with our offensive line because, we just saw Lane Johnson and then, Andre Dillard. I guess he's going to be starting at left tackle. So we're going to, they're going to be ready on that Steelers D-line, TJ and Bud and all them. They're going to be ready. So that's going to be a tough game, especially since we don't match up against them often. We got that long history in Pennsylvania. They got a solid secondary as well with Minka and Joe. And like I said, our wide receivers, we got a lot of questions right now. So those are some tough games I definitely see coming up. Of course, we're going to get, hella wins because it's us. Of course, the Seahawks. The Seahawks, is always one of they just got our card. Definitely, they just, picked up Jamal Adams. We already know DK had a time against us. He had a party when he played us, some of his best numbers. Russell Wilson just knows what to do when he's playing us. So that's definitely going to be a tough game as well. So, those are 5 tough games. I'm going to say 11-5 because just counting the 5 tough games, everything else, I feel like we Gucci. Nothing to worry about. No sweat.
To just say what some of the guys in the chat were saying. So a lot of 12-4s, a lot of 13-3s, a lot of 11-5s, a couple, 10-6 and stuff like that. But that's pretty much how I feel. Before the schedule came out, like when we were playing these people, I said double-digit wins. But now looking at it, you get some of them hard ones. The Saints at home at least, Seahawks at home at least, Baltimore at home at least. Some of them tough games are at Philly, so I hope we have a crowd because the crowd energizes us. But I like 11-5. But to Dallas Young, he said, "Who's old girl?"
Simone with the sports on YouTube, Instagram as well.
Yeah, so because they said you got different people popping in and out of here. Right now we are right around 45 people, but yeah, so definitely check her out. Make sure if you're watching this, do me a favor at this point, smash that like button. It only takes a quick second, my peoples, and definitely either pop out, go sub her up now, or definitely after the stream. Simone with sports. That's all you got to do is tape in there.
Boys.
With the?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes, I saw you put it on your flyer. I didn't want to correct you.
I could have sworn I seen it say Simone with sports. You're right. It's your channel. Oh. So he says, biggest fear with Ertz is if he could be more Tebow than Jackson. First time hearing you, Simone. You got good takes and really know your stuff. Definitely does.
Good correct there.
Good stuff. Yeah. We try to, you know what I mean?
We could have some little bird fans, little kids in here.
Yeah. Eagles be rocking. What's going on? He said, yo, what's good, crew? Yeah, the chat definitely keep it funky with each other, too. So we got a couple more.
A lot of 11-5s.
We got a bold take. Murph DeKenzo, one of my OGs, channel member, he said 19-0, marching down Broad Street in mid-February.
That's the energy we need, okay? We need people like you, Murph, okay?
Definitely. He said if we good this season 9-7, I don't know why people say 11-5 or 10-6 if we always go 9-7. We don't always go 9-7. You know why we went 9-7 in that last couple of years? Because what Brad Wright say, we've been injured ever since our Super Bowl, and even in our Super Bowl run, we were injured.
I was about to say
13-3, fly Eagles fly. Showing up 1-2-2-1-5. What's going on, my guy? 12-4. See, most people have the double digits, right around that 10, 11, 12.
His name got me weak. Darius held Amari hostage.
Yeah. His name itself, right? Kills it. Love it, love it. He said, I just subscribed to Simone's channel. Philly Mike, thanks for inviting me on your live. And I think Eagles control the NFC East in 2020 and 2021. I expect better and a breakout from the pandemic. I like it.
That's what we need, that positivity.
Yeah, look, everyone go hit that like button real quick. Don't be a Cowboy fan. Yeah, definitely. I get this one person that always dislikes my stream no matter what. Like, if I put it up the day before, I haven't even went on live yet. It's only been up for like an hour. I haven't even spoke, and I already got that one dislike ASAP. But it's cool, though. Got to be a Cowboy fan, Eagles versus Seattle is definitely looking like a great game.
For one thing, it's always a good game. Now, whether I'm sick at the end, it's definitely always a good game to look forward to.
Hey, Murph, we're going to have a channel member live stream coming up soon, my guys. So we definitely going to get you on there. Like I said, shout out to Simone with the sport. You know what I'm saying? Coming on here, giving her takes. Like I said, she got the knowledge. I said it from the start. We're going to be 11-5 this season, and Carson is going to be better than this 2017 season. I like that. We beat the Saints with Sam Bradford at home in 15, like our odds this year.
We can do it with Sam. We can do it with Carson.
Yeah. I mean, at home, if we get fans, it should be pretty good. So, again, we got some more takes. They're still giving us some more of these, and we're going to get these last couple out and move to that next topic. We went 9-7 because Mike Grow. What up, y'all? What I missed, but I got us at 12-4. We just came in. We shot off a couple topics. But we didn't talk about nothing that we don't normally talk about this. But we got this, expert analysis going on with it too. So Brittany broke down what she thinks about the rookies, some of the offseason signings. We're right on this record thing, but she made a video the other day about the running back situation. So we're going to bring it up here for the chat, and I'm going to let her go. So do you think we can go into the 2020 season with the running backs we got on the team?
Yeah, I think we definitely can go into the season and be fine with the running backs, but I definitely think we could be better. You always can be better. And I think I love the guys that we have. I love Miles Sanders. He had an amazing season last season, but you always can turn it up a notch. And, the running game is always the part of the offense that you want to keep true because, you want to keep those defenses honest. You want to wind down the clock. You want to know you can get those yards from running and not, airtime. So I definitely think we can add a veteran running back to the mix. I would love to see LaShawn McCoy come back. I would love to see, Raheem Mostert. It could be a long shot, but he did, say he wanted to, he was up for a trade. He was willing to trade. He wanted to get out of there because he's not the top paid guy. And I know Adam Schefter or Ian Rappaport was like, oh, everything's good over there. He doesn't want to trade anymore. But they always say that, and then we always end up with a trade. We always end up with some breaking news, just like they said, oh, Jamal's good, so-and-so's good, and then that guy's, getting traded. So I definitely think we can add a veteran running back into the mix. We do have a lot of young guys, Boston Scott, Corey, and Miles. They're all young guys. We've always had, in the recent years, Darren Sproles, one of our vets who's always, held us down, not just as a return specialist. In the Super Bowl, we had Darren Sproles and we had LeGarrette Blount in conjunction with Corey and Jay Ajayi. So, you want to mimic what you had during, your peak, our first Super Bowl. Like, you know what I'm saying? What did we do then? We can do that now. I definitely think adding a veteran running back, whether it be Raheem, LaShawn McCoy. I know Devontae Freeman's out there. I'm not really psyched about him. But I definitely think having a veteran in all, every position is definitely important, especially in the running game, because that is something that you want to keep true.
Yeah. See,
cut Corey.
Huh?
He said, "Cut Corey."
Yeah, I know. Not too many people. I mean, this is my take on Corey. He's always hurt. If he could stay healthy, maybe he got some 52 in him, Super Bowl 52 in him. But I'm not. Hey, we got 52 people in here right now too. That's funny.
Super Bowl 52.
But I'm not holding my breath. But this is my take. I wanted if we were going to get a veteran running back, I wanted to get someone who complements McCoy. And I was really liking Carlos Hyde out there, a dude who just came off a stack with Houston. He's the big bruising type back. He can be used if Miles goes down as an every down back. He can catch out the backfield, and he can complement Miles. Here's my take on Miles, though. I'm expecting a huge season from Miles, both receiving and rushing. And this is the thing. It's crazy. Miles Sanders was drafted in the second round, pick 53 overall. 10 years ago, LaShawn McCoy was drafted in the second round, pick 53 overall.
Oh, that's crazy.
LaShawn McCoy broke the rookie rushing record for the Eagles his first year. 10 years later, same draft pick, same round, Miles Sanders breaks McCoy's rookie rushing record. So it's the exact same thing. A decade later, he breaks it. Now, here's the thing. McCoy, second year, rushed for over 1,000, and he became LaShawn McCoy, being able to carry the ball 25 to 30 times and doing his thing. Now, we didn't see Miles Sanders carry the ball 25, 30 times. I'm not saying he could do it every game, but he's the same height as McCoy. He was 5 pounds heavier than McCoy, and so I think we can put a little bit of heavier workload. We like to pass the ball a lot anyway, so we're not going to run him crazy because we don't. Carson had the third most dropbacks in the NFL. We passed the ball. But as you were saying, the running game is so important. People forget in 2017/18 season, Carson Wentz and Nick Foles, when he was available, when he was playing, was throwing the ball all down the field. We didn't have a 1,000-yard rusher because we had a committee, Ajayi, Blunt, and Corey Clement. But we were third in the NFL in rushing. So if we had one solid guy doing it, he would have been way over 1,000. But we were third in the NFL. So we were a top 5 rushing team to go along with slinging the ball. That's how you get the fun to start. And just like Drummer said, fast starts equals the wins. We must strike fast and often. Our defense was always fresh because we 14 points in the first quarter. So they always playing with a lead.
Yeah, that's a very good point. So I feel like we get mixed emotions about the running back situation. Now, I'm not saying like the running back is going to be what makes or breaks us, but I'm just saying like if you want to beat Thanos out here, get all the rings. We got the D-line, add some more. We can, we got some cap space. Like, why not? This is a season where like you just go out and just leave it all. Like, who knows what's going to happen this season? So let's sign who we can. If we can get Raheem, let's get him.
Definitely. I know you big Raheem, and like you said, he
was an equal at first when he was coming out of college. So it all comes full circle.
So, like I said, it sucks when you got a guy and you're like, yeah, he ain't about to be nothing. Because I know I know fans were talking about. We like, why this guy still around? You know what I mean? Kyle Shanahan, but I ain't gonna lie. Kyle Shanahan's design runs, like he doesn't just hand the ball off left to right. Like he got some nice zone concepts, some zone scheming, some outside zone running. So, it could be the playbook as well. But yeah. And I'm with you with the salary cap, but this is when I want to get your input on this. How do you feel about the 2021 salary cap, already knowing that we're going to be like 51 mil over?
That's a good question. Yeah, and especially when you see like it's going to be a lot of changes too with the guys opting out because their contracts are going to get paid out in 2021.
Say it again.
So I saw like the guys, if they opted out, then, that hit the cap in 2021. So,
I just started reading about that. I was going to look into that more before I really talked about it, but I think something like that. But the guys opting out are like, what, $150K only to get if there's no pre-existing conditions. So,
yeah, but I meant like their contract, whatever they were due like this season, then that would push. Yeah.
I think it does.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't really know that much about the salary cap. I'm not even going to cap, but I do. And that's crazy because I do finance, but that's not. I don't know. I feel like we got a lot of young guys. I don't see any rookie contracts or anything coming up. We got Carson paid down for the next 3 years. So I feel like we definitely be good. We got a lot of older, kind of like, especially in our O line, we got a lot of guys that's like, are they going to be here next season? I know Jason Kelsey was flirting with retiring. This could be Peters last year. So we do have a lot of, position needs and stuff to fill. So the fact that we're going to be over, that could have us, a little bit behind because we're going to have a lot of positions to fill next season.
Definitely. Before we get into some more, like I said, we got 55 people in here. If you haven't done it already, smash that like button. It helps the content. Takes a second to hit the button, come back in and chat it up with us. And make sure when this stream is over, if you haven't done it already, you can either do it now or do it after. Go look at Simone with the sports. THE in between sports. I'm just kidding. Here's my whole thing. I'm not a salary cap person either, but we're going to be fit like around 51 million over the cap. Now, Howie Roseman is a genius when it comes to numbers. There's going to be a lot of restructuring going. Someone like Brandon Graham could be a cap casualty at his age, especially if we see Derek Barnett step up and the rotation with Josh Sweat. Man, I love BG, but
we all do.
Zach Ertz is going to be a serious story that goes along because he needs an extension.
Yeah.
Who knows if he's going to take a discount?
Yeah, for sure. And Zach Ertz has been one of our anchor pieces. That's a guy we definitely want to. It's always hard when you got to see these guys like, they love their team, but it's a business too. And they got to, go somewhere where they think they're getting their, just due paycheck. But I would hate to see Zach Ertz go.
Here's a good question. Simone, do you think J.J. Arcega-Whiteside will rebound this year and become a productive wide receiver, or will he solidify his bust status?
JJ, I'm not big on JJ at all. I feel like he doesn't give me athletic. Like, he's not very fluid in his movements or anything like that. I feel like he's going to solidify a bust. I'm not very confident with him coming in with Alshon out. I would have loved to have him, not have to start. I don't know if he's going to have to start if we don't pick up any wide receiver, but I'm definitely not confident in JJ Arcega-Whiteside. He's never shown me anything. I mean, that's it. He's really sluggish. I don't like his movements. He's not very fluid. Very robot-like.
Very robot. Yeah. To say some of these, Barnett is a guy who I know is talented. We've seen it in spurts, but then he gets injured, has bad attitude, just doesn't show it. It's a big year. We took his fifth option. It's either now or never with this guy. But we are going to make some moves. The Zach Ertz things, I'm like this. I see both sides. Zach Ertz, I would never say come out of my mouth, just let him go or trade him. But at the end of the day, and people like making fun of me for saying it because I sometimes get a little happy at the end of the days. It's my first time saying it today, though. Zach Ertz, we see Dallas Goedert rising up. And if Zach Ertz wants to get paid Kittle money, it's not going to be happening. But if Zach Ertz says, you know what, I want good money, I'll take like top 4 tight end money, we can make it happen.
Yeah.
I want to try to match Kittle or a little bit behind Kittle, that's going to really hurt when you got Dallas Goedert, who got to get paid in the next couple years too. So that is the big problem there. But I want to get your take to elaborate on J.J. Arcega-Whiteside too. There's nothing that shows me he's going to turn around, but he is going to get an opportunity this year because there's no way the Eagles give up on a second-round pick this early. But I can see him, losing his spot midway through the season next year if he's continuing to be JJ because JJ is not good.
Not at all. Highlight tape like 2 minutes.
Yeah, and you got to show at least 2 of them 3 times. The same one like 3 times. Let's see this in slow motion. Let's make it real slow motion so we can clip
a different angle.
But so.
But yeah, he's got this year. I see someone say you got to give him this year. He's got it. He's got the stage. So we'll see what he does.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I can't see Zach Ertz top 4 money. No, we need more than you, Zach Ertz. We got a lot of mouths to feed if we want to, keep winning.
All right. So with all the new people jumping in, go ahead and introduce yourself one more time. and everything, and your whole background and what you do. Shout out the NC State thing one more time in case he's creeping up in here.
So I'm Simone, guys. I go by Simone with the sports on YouTube and Instagram. My name is actually Simone Stanley, and I'm a journalist in Atlanta, Georgia. So I cover a lot of the local Georgia teams, the Atlanta Hawks, the Atlanta Falcons. Still an Eagles fan, but I have to stay unbiased when it comes to those games. Cover the WNBA, and I get to do a lot of like feature stories and one-on-one interviews with different guys. Starting to cover NASCAR a little bit, but mainly when you come on my channel, you're definitely going to see Eagles at the forefront. You'll see a couple of other things. I do like basketball, so I will talk about basketball a little bit too. I've been an Eagles fan since day one. I mean, I'm from North Carolina. I went to NC State. But my family is from Washington, D.C. So back in the day, I had a lot of Eagles fans in my family because, they only showed the local games. You only see Eagles on TV. You only see Cowboys and Giants because they were in the Redskins market. So a lot of my old head family members are Eagles fans, and that's where that came from. Diehard Eagles fan, been waiting for our Super Bowl. Me and my cousins all got number 52 tattoos. Like, it don't get realer than that.
It don't get realer than that. And so definitely go check her out right now or right after this stream. Shout out to Chris Kaufman. He said maybe Avant saves JJ Arcega-Whiteside. If you haven't done it, because I released this video maybe like 35 minutes before we went live. I did a video about Jason Avant. Man, I called this man all the time back in the day. His name was Sure-Hand Avant. If it touched these things right here, he was not dropping it. He did the OBJ catch before OBJ. OBJ had like a little twist to it. But shout out to my guy, Jason Avant. This wide receiver, positional coach with Aaron Moorhead and him as the assistant. If the receivers are going to learn one thing, it's they're going to learn toughness and not to drop a ball. Don't drop the ball if it touches your hands. Here's a question for you. So 2 late round picks, John Hightower and Quez Watkins. Who do you like more?
I would definitely go with Quez just because of speed, and I heard his coach saying on a podcast earlier about his ability to play in and out of the slot and how I know college not the same, but he was able to thrive in that position. That's something we try to do with JJ Arcega-Whiteside is have him be versatile, and he wasn't able to succeed at that. So to have his coach highlight that as one of his strong suits, that's definitely something I'm looking forward to seeing him.
Definitely. And so he was like, NASCAR, let's go. Yeah. Hey, I ain't started watching NASCAR till my guy Bubba Wallace.
Right,
listen, I legitly throw about $5 on him every single race because they be disrespecting him with the odds. Like $5 gets you like 500 if he wins.
Wow, that's great.
Some of the time. So like $5 is nothing, I put $5 every time on him, and then I put like the big 80 to like 150 on like guys like what? See, again, I just got into NASCAR.
Yeah, well, I'm saying like I'm still fresh.
Hamlin, and Havoc, Hamlin and Harvick. Them two be going back and forth winning. Blaney and stuff like that. Put the bigger money on them. But yeah, let's get back to some of this stuff. And like I said, I'm a gambler. I don't know much about NASCAR, but there's still analytics to research and stuff, track stuff. So, if I could bet it, I'm going to do it.
I have a lot to learn. I mean, I'll literally be in those discussions like, how the car run? How's the car running?
Yeah, right?
Still trying to learn more.
AB Moon said, go ahead.
Oh, I was saying AB Moon. That was a good point.
Yeah, Patriots mindset, underpay and just get the talent and coaching personnel. Hey, it worked for a while with them, but we're gonna see how they attack this next decade. You know what I mean? Especially with all their players opting out. They got 6 people.
They got a lot of questions to answer. That free agency board is not cute. So I don't know who they about to get, Clowney and who else. Like,
yeah. But when it comes to what was I going to say? Yeah, on the defensive side, what is your biggest question marks on the defensive side of the ball for the Philadelphia Eagles?
The defensive side, honestly, I feel like we addressed a lot of the questions, with Darius and getting Nikhil. I feel like we're going to be good. I know a lot of people are like, oh, we have a big question at linebacker. But like you said earlier, we're kind of moving away from the linebacker. Now, Jalen Mills was a safety, but he did flex up a lot to that linebacker position. And Jalen Mills was a very, very vocal leader on the field for the Eagles. Very good, eye and able to analyze the offense. So I think we're going to lose a lot by not having Jalen Mills. I mean, not Jalen Mills, Malcolm Jenkins' mindset. Was I saying it the whole time? By not having Malcolm Jenkins' mindset. Now, of course, Darius Slay is a veteran, but I just don't know if, Malcolm has so much love for the team, and he had those guys like, you move middle of the play, like, telling them guys what to do. So I think we're going to lose a lot of that when it comes to his mindset. I definitely think Nikhil was a very good pickup for us. Very aggressive player. He plays in the slot, and he's very versatile. We have a question on, you were saying earlier, cornerback number 2. I don't know why, but I'm definitely heavy on Cravant. I think just in that Bears wild card game, he had a lot of, and I wasn't very keen on him before that game, but he had a lot of big pass breakups in that game against the Bears, and nobody was expecting us to win that wild card game. And he had some huge, huge, huge breakups. So I just feel like he, compared to the other guys, is a very good option to have at the cornerback too. I think our secondary is very strong at the moment. I think Jalen Mills will definitely succeed moving to the safety position, because you see a lot of guys when they move from corner to safety, they usually thrive. So I think we're going to be good there. We do have questions to answer, with the linebacker position. Not really stressed about that. I feel like our defensive line is so like strong. And then also, our defensive line is just on point. And then we have a very talented secondary as well. And just think about what we were able to do last season with a dusty secondary. And that's really credit to Jim Schwartz. But our secondary last season, I think we said we had like 8 different guys starting and stuff. That is impressive what we were able to do last season. So I think our defensive schemes and everything is really going to be important and hold us down. And we got the talent there. We got the play calling. I think we're going to be fine whether we get, a linebacker off free agency or trade for a linebacker. I think we're good.
Yeah. To me, that second position is I like Avonte Maddox. I like Strap too and all that. But I see them as smaller guys who would be better in the slot, even though I know Nikhil Roby-Coleman's probably going to get the starting job in the slot. I think our players are versatile to move around a lot, but I would like Sidney Jones to really step up and get that position. I'm not saying he is. I think the Eagles are probably leaning towards Avonte Maddox, but Sidney Jones was drafted to be an outside corner. He's bigger. He just got the body frame, but that doesn't also automatically translate to being good on the field. So I do believe, though, Slay is going to be able to make their jobs easier for the simple fact that if he follows the number 1, you don't got to worry about a guy like can't guard Mike getting matched up with the outside guy, Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, Julio Jones. You got Slay, who, listen, Slay's going to get beat. I mean, it's a receiver game. It make it really hard on these DBs. Don't expect Slay never to get beat. He's just not going to get beat nowhere near.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Real quick.
You said what?
No, real quick. John said, with the absence of fans for who knows how long, what do y'all think what do you think of the use of the silent count? Would it make a difference or just something to mess with people?
That's a good question. I think it'll make. I really don't know, because football is definitely a sport that feeds off the energy of the crowd, and I think that's something that's different than basketball, because really basketball, these guys, you can play basketball they play basketball all night. No fans. They already do that. Like, guys play pickup at LA Fitness with no fans. Guys play pickup, just out in somebody's backyard with no fans. Football is always a sport that's really tied together with the fans. So I think not having the fans is going to be a huge impact, especially when you see, like, when you getting fired up and trying to, get them to get off sides and stuff like that. That stuff makes a huge huge difference. So I think not having the fans is really going to be a huge impact, especially, you know, a lot of teams play better at home for a reason. So I'm definitely shook about that fact. I don't know how these guys are going to do without the fans.
Before I answer that question, let me shout out my guy, channel member Victory says, "Stop it, Jones a bust." Listen, my guy, I'm not saying he's going to be good. I'm not the one who's come on here saying that. A lot of people think he's just automatically going to be good, but it's his last year's rookie contract. He's going to get a chance. You don't got to be a superstar to be the second guy. There's not many guys just taking the job from him. So I do agree with you. He's not nothing to be sure about. But again, his biggest thing was injuries. So, I mean, that's just the Achilles heel of the Eagles, you know, injuries. So let these guys get healthy if they can get healthy. If we could just be blessed with health, that could be the biggest.
Yeah, that's really the biggest thing. Definitely.
I say this in a lot of streams earlier when we were talking about all season. Our best signing could be a little bowl of health. That's it. We just stay healthy. We should be pretty good. But I did see another one in here. Oh no, yeah. To go off that silent count thing, I really don't think it's going to work at all. The silent count is all to do with the fans and everything that's going on. And like she said, football is that fan thing. I mean, go to a game. Like, they're super quiet. I mean, that third down, you're trying to get off the field, crowd going crazy, blitz comes, you can't get the play in right, don't got the hot read, boom, sack. You know what I mean? And it's crazy. The third down defense is going to be
definitely crazy. Like, there's no better feeling than like third down at a football game, like chance. It's just not going to be the same at all.
Hey, I was at the Falcons versus Eagles game
last season.
No.
Oh, I was about to say
52 season.
Oh, okay.
52 season. Okay. And so it was the playoff game, division round. I had the onlyest headache. And when the Falcons kept converting and they get down inside the 2-3 yard line, and I'm like, are you kidding me? I feel like just throwing up. Like, I'm so mad. That third down, the link has them things that spin for like noise. They were just all rocking, and it was crazy when Jalen Mills somehow stopped Julio.
Shout out Jalen Mills. I love Jalen Mills. But yeah, I've never been to a game at the link. I'm so jealous. Literally, I've only been to games in FedEx Field because, like I said, my family's from DC. So if I convince them, oh, we gotta see the Eagles, it's gotta be against the Redskins. And then I've seen them here in Atlanta, but I'm definitely jealous because I haven't been able to go to a game at the Lincoln Financial Field.
Definitely. Gonna have to feed off the energy of the team. If not, the field, you better be hype, man. Yeah.
That's true.
Definitely true. Football is a game about runs, momentum, and the momentum is not going to be the same.
It's definitely a momentum and energy. We're going to see how the NBA looks tomorrow. But, you know, the basketball, like, you can keep the frame in tighter. So you don't even necessarily got to see the no fans. When they zoom out and you see all them empty and those guys look like little ants, that's going to be hard to watch.
Yeah. I see. That's why I like what the NBA is doing. I like how they're not going to show the empty seats. Like, I saw baseball with the empty seats.
Yeah, and I'm like, huh?
It's so demoralizing. Like, but at least basketball, they're going to have a cutoff. They're going to have, you know, all that good stuff there. So that's good. And yes, everybody, we can all see the comments. Both of us can see the comment section. Let's go. I did want to ask you one more thing. Do you see the Eagles doing well, I know you talked about Raheem Mostert. I know you did a couple videos on Jadeveon Clowney. I'm not sure if you had an Everson Griffin one. Do you see the Eagles bringing someone else in, or do you think, although we could maybe benefit from bringing a running back or a pass rusher or an extra corner in, you think, not your preference, you think how the Eagles are looking, do you think they're going to bring someone in and or stay how they are?
I feel like now, because of the situation that we're in with the virus and you're not knowing who can test at any time, you want to definitely put an emphasis on depth. So I definitely think I can see them. Now, I'm biased towards, the pass rush, but I definitely can see them bringing in Jadeveon or Everson Griffin, just because we don't really have that much depth on the ends. Yes, we have Graham and Barnett, But behind them, Josh Sweat, Vinny Curry's not who he was anymore, and he's gone now. But Josh was a number 4 guy, now moving up to a number 3. Our defensive line is definitely our strongest suit. And the defense, this period, is always the one thing that you want to have the strongest. So I definitely could see them bringing in somebody now just because we're in a pandemic, and Brandon could test positive tomorrow. And then now it's like, okay, Josh is our number 1 guy. Like, we definitely want to add depth. So I can, not even just on that position, but I definitely could see them picking up, whether it's a linebacker, a cornerback, a running back. I definitely could see them picking up, a top talent that we can afford, just because we want to have depth. Because like I said, the night before the Seahawks game, anybody can have COVID. And then it's like, dang, we don't want to lose because of health again. Like, that's been our story.
And you just had to say the Seahawks game, right? But would you take Griffin over Clowney if you can get a cheaper deal in a pass rusher, or would you still want Clowney?
If I had to choose out of the two, I would definitely say Clowney. And I know some people are saying, oh, Clowney had JJ. But Clowney actually had his best year when JJ was in his, injury bout. In 2017, Clowney had his best numbers. So he can play without having a JJ. So I definitely would take Clowney. He seems like he says he wants to be on a team that's ready to win now, which makes me think he's going to come out and he's going to be a dog. And that's definitely what we need, somebody who's ready to come out and win, and not somebody who's just ready to come out and play and be complacent and act funky in the middle of the season. I think he's definitely aware of the fact that he's not going to, be breaking the market at whatever. He's definitely, expanding the amount of teams that he's willing to get signed to. And we know he will get signed. So why would we want him, going anywhere else? So I definitely, I like Everson too. Everson, he had a lot of questions though with his mental health. We are in some crazy times right now. We just want to make sure, he's in the right headspace and everything, and won't have, any episodes or, whatever going on in the middle of the season. But I like Jadavion's mindset of, I'm ready to win now, period. He'll definitely have hella help with the Eagles D-line, and he'll definitely be able to have all the pressure taken off of him. Even though they got Jamal Adams, that's secondary help, though. He still has to hold down the defensive line by himself. And that's really no fun. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got Javion behind you. I mean, you got Jamal Adams behind you, but look left, look right. Like, what you got, it's all on you. So I definitely think he doesn't want to have all the load on him. So unless they, get some help from him on the line, I can definitely see him still wanting to go somewhere else.
Yeah, I agree. I was kind of thinking that the Seattle Seahawks would sign Clowney back, but I'm not so sure with big guy Jamal Adams contract possibly coming up in the future. But Chris Kaufman said 2 funny comments I thought was funny when you were talking. Showing up 215 said a lot of cheering from the sideline this year. We gonna need to we gonna
have takers and everything.
And then I've heard this stuff too, so I don't know how serious they are with it, but the pre-recorded fan noise better be good. Like, it needs to be Super Bowl 52 loud. You know what I mean?
Exactly. They need to get some of the sound from the best games. I think I'm not hating on the fan noise, and that's because I watched the NBA 2K League, and I watched 2K, so I'm already hip to how that fake crowd noise sounds. And it definitely adds to the game, the virtual game. So I definitely, if we can have it, I would definitely prefer to have the fake fan noise over not having it.
Definitely. All right, so again, this channel talks a lot about Carson, and in the last couple of weeks, we've really been, just because, Philadelphia sports in general gets disrespected by the media so much. We're talking Sixers, definitely the Eagles, and so the top 100 just came out, and our guy Carson wasn't even in the top 100, not even 90-something. They didn't have him nowhere in sight. So again, you can chalk it up to a popularity test. You could chalk it up to whatever it is, but there's no doubt in my mind that he's not a top 100 player. I mean, Josh Allen made it. He's all right. Ryan Tannehill made it. He's all right. Jimmy Garoppolo made it. He's all right. I mean, you put the Super Bowl there, but again, the team bailed him out, and he kind of lost it in the fourth. Who else do they have in there? Dak Prescott at 46. So, and even still like the Tom Brady's and stuff, you put him in there off GP, but he wasn't that good last year. Mm-hmm. I want to know your take on Carson Wentz. When you stack him up against 31 NFL quarterbacks, you don't got to give me who else is around, but where do you rank him around out of 32?
Definitely top 10. I feel like Carson Wentz, it could have been, I feel like when it comes to the media in those shows, especially, being on the back end side, a lot of that stuff they do just to spark conversation. And it's not necessarily like, oh, Carson didn't deserve. They very well probably left him off the list just so they can have something to talk about for the rest of the week on their talk shows. Is Carson Wentz worthy? Is he better than Dak? To keep that whole narrative going. So I really don't be trusting like those lists and stuff they put out, because I feel like they really contrive and they're really just doing whatever to keep a conversation going, especially during the offseason when we really don't have that much to talk about. But I definitely think Carson Wentz, he was MVP level. We all saw it. Like, he was literally like Houdini on the field, highlights every 10 minutes. I mean, Carson Wentz was just so fun to watch, and he's never even had to have the top guy, the top wide receiver to make him look good. I mean, Matt Ryan's got Julio Jones, and he's had Julio Jones. Carson Wentz doesn't have a Julio Jones. We saw what he could do with Greg Ward. I mean, he's a guy who makes his offense look better. He makes his wide receivers look much better than they are. And that's something you can't say about Dak Prescott. You never could say that about Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott has had one of the best wide receiver cores, top wide receiver cores. And we can't even really discredit Randall Cobb. I mean, between Randall Cobb, Amari Cooper, and Michael Gallup, they were literally 11 yards away from being the most productive wide receiver trio. And Dak wasn't able to do anything with it. Yet we saw what Carson Wentz was able to do with number 3 tight ends and with Greg Ward. So it's no debate what Carson Wentz can do. And it's just a matter of time before he explodes and really just shakes the world and shakes the table. I mean, he is just, we already know he's like amazing. And they really just be shading him, or they'll shade Dak. They'll pick one of those guys to shade just so we can keep this discussion going. Who's better, Dak or Carson Wentz? They're going to keep doing that just like they kept doing, just whatever to keep a conversation going.
Definitely. And shout out to Cass Ghost. He said, I really don't give a flip about the top 100 list. It means absolutely nothing.
Let's talk about who was in the playoffs list. Who led their teams to the playoffs list? Dak? Not.
Yeah, not.
Right. Like, the 100 top, and those guys say it too. Like, if you talk to the athletes, they'll literally be like, I don't care about accolades. I care about rings. Mm-hmm. Who got a ring on his finger right now?
That's true. And I agree with you, Ghost. But here's my thing. It's just fuel to the fire. Mm-hmm. It's fuel to the fire. And when I look at a lot of people's biggest issue with Carson, you never hear nobody say Carson can't make every throw, can't read defense, ain't athletic, ain't this. They talk about two things, maybe his fumbles and his injury-prone status, supposedly. And if you look at the whole thing in a vacuum, he's not that hurt. I mean, there's been people who missed more time than him over the last couple years. But at the end of the day, he got to be the last Eagle to throw a ball. But when he's on the field, there's no doubt about he's a top 5 to me. There's not many quarterbacks I would start my franchise with over Russ Wilson, Pat Mahomes. Yes. Lamar Jackson, I like him. He's a great player, but I still got to see more fully at the quarterback position before I put him there, because I like it. It's highlight play. It's good, but, so far it hasn't,
it didn't lead past, the first round. So, yeah, it's definitely, I love Lamar Jackson. I mean, one of the most fun people to watch, but he definitely has a lot more. That was one season. We got to see the longevity. Like, can you keep doing it? Can you do something else? Does it produce wins? Does it produce playoff wins?
Yeah, and real quick, Dak had a top 300 players on his team, and didn't make the playoffs. All Wentz top offensive players was Jelson. Yeah,
that's a 1,000% fact. And not to mention, Dak has one of the best offensive lines. Not even just guys he's throwing to, guys he's handing it off to. Ezekiel Elliott, we can't discredit the fact that Ezekiel Elliott is like a very, very outstanding blocker as well. Like, he blocks for Dak. Like, what can you do without Zeke? He was saying Zeke got paid. I didn't get paid. Okay, and Zeke has proven what he can do. Zeke can run, whether you handing him the ball or I'm handing the ball. Zeke can run like he run, okay? So Dax definitely still has a lot more to prove in my eyes to get, the money that he's wanting.
Correct. Here's another thing I wanted to say. When you look at what Dak had, he had, again, Mari and Gallup are both over 1,000, and Kyle, like you said, was over 800.
800 something, yeah.
But when you look at the stats that offense built, 8 and 8, that's like 2 plus 2 don't equal 6.
Look at our secondary they were matching up against too. And I don't know what the problem is.
And this is exactly why there's no way it cannot be an NFL football season. Like, come on.
Right. It's too much. It's too much.
It's too much.
Right.
But yeah, so here's another thing I want to get from you. We're gonna finish up in a little bit. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hold up. John said Pat Runs and Carson are top 3. Pat Russ and Carson are the top 3 guys. I think Pat Runs, but our top 3 guys. Y'all can argue the rest, but the first 3 are done. Period. I like that. And again,
definitely agree with Russ. I feel like he's they don't talk about Russ as much as they should.
You know what? I can never understand. I think Pete Carroll is a good coach. I think he's a good coach. But what is going? Listen, they treat Russell Westbrook. They treat Russell Wilson like he's a game manager. Like that team runs the ball. I'm not saying they run the ball the best, but they run the ball more than almost any other team. I think they were second in the NFL last year. They run like 55% of the time. They run the ball way too much. They let Russ throw on 3rd down only. Like, let Russ do Russ type things. I don't understand why they're so heavy. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, but yeah, so NFC East. Give me your. So you said the Eagles are 11-5. That was your ballpark when we talked about the records earlier. Again, we've been on for about an hour and 6 minutes. And earlier, she's been breaking down a lot of this offseason stuff. First time getting her on. Appreciate her for stopping by. For those who don't know, when this is over, go check out her channel, Simone with the Sports on YouTube. But with the Eagles being 11-5 from your prediction, who do you have second in the East, third and fourth, and where do they fall?
Definitely, I mean, we already know the Cowboys going to be number 2. I'm not saying I'm definitely not going to be on here and, have a testimony saying we're not going to win the East. We definitely going to win the East. Of course, we already know why the Cowboys are going to be number 2. The Washington, they've got some good pieces on the defense, but they just have so much off-field drama right now. Besides even the pandemic, they've got back front office conflicts. They've got a whole new brand to worry about. A lot of things are questions right now, and they have a lot to figure out. Brand new coach. They don't have a traditional offseason, so they can't, supposedly, who knows what these guys are doing behind closed doors. They're not supposed to be, have worked out as much. So they're not having a traditional offseason. They got so much going on off the field, and that really does get to the players, definitely. So I just feel like they're going to be off their game. The Giants, they've got some pieces in the offseason, in the draft, but brand new coach. They have a lot of stuff to figure out. The Eagles have a lot of returning pieces, returning coach. We have our stuff figured out. The Cowboys pretty much have their stuff figured out as well. Yes, they have a new coach. I don't think they're going to miss that much of a beat. They have a lot of the same on-field talent. So I definitely think it's going to be us head-to-head again. Definitely got too many questions coming from Washington. Way too many questions coming from – I'm actually going to be talking to one of the Washington's players, and I definitely want to, ask him, like, what do you got? What's up in y'all head? Like, y'all thinking about on the field? Y'all thinking about y'all uniforms? Because those uniforms mean a lot to their players. Like, they love the threads they can come out in. So it's a lot they have going on.
Definitely. So while we're at that, so you got it. Eagles, Cowboys, Giants, Redskins.
Giants at the bottom.
The football team.
Yeah, Giants definitely at the bottom.
Oh, you think?
Honestly, it could go either way between those two.
You're like flip a coin.
Right, literally flip a coin.
Dang. Hey, shout out to my guy who stops in here once in a while, Ed Davis. He's a Washington football team content creator. We did a live stream the other day, not the other day, about a month ago, talking about week 1. He's a cool dude, but we disagree when it comes to football. But he's a cool dude. We talk behind the scenes, phone, Twitter, all that good stuff. But yeah, what was your take when you first heard the Washington football team is their new name?
I honestly, that's what I expected. I mean, one, they wanted them to change the name. They took the name off. So they took it off. Should it have been taken off decades ago? Yes. But they took it off now. They were under the hottest fire that they've ever been under since, the name became controversy. They took the name off. They're in the middle of a pandemic, in the middle of a front office scandal. The season starts in weeks. They don't have time to do a full rebrand at the moment. I'm very satisfied with what they did. Branding takes a whole lot, and they just don't have the time to figure out, let's pick a logo. Let's, get these shirts pumped out, get these new hats and everything pumped out. I think what they did is what I expected, and I feel like it's enough for the moment. They can figure out, their new branding and everything in this next offseason.
Yeah, but it just cracks me up when it's going to be week 1. If we don't put where they're from, the Eagles versus football.
Right, football team. I mean, whatever. It's just crazy because I told you my family's from there, so they got to throw away they got to get all this new merch.
They're going to get rid of it, though? They're not going to keep it?
I mean, you know what they say, but it's going to be worth like hella money in a couple of years. But I'm like, Daddy, you got to get football team stuff now.
So wait, so you came from Washington, right?
Yeah, both my parents are from DC. So yeah, but I grew up in North Carolina.
And so
now I live in Atlanta.
But they were growing up. They were both Washington fans, right?
My mom was a Steelers fan.
Oh yeah, you said that earlier.
Yeah, she's a Steelers fan. My dad is a Washington football team fan.
How did you pull away? How did you pull away and come to the good side?
So a lot of my family, I do have a extended family that are Eagles fans, because being in DC, back in the day, they only played on local TV. You only saw the football team Washington play. So it was only, you saw a lot of they saw a lot of Cowboys games. They saw a lot of Giants games. They saw a lot of Eagles games. And probably because, Randall Cunningham, I have a lot of Eagles fans in my family. So just growing up, some of my uncles, some of my cousins were Eagles fans. So I just adopted it. That's
good. Because you wouldn't be on here if you weren't. No, I'm just kidding. It's cool though. It's cool because like I said, I have so many people, so many close friends that, like you said, are NFC East. I got Giants and Cowboys, not too many Washington. So it's like, when the Eagles don't do good, I gotta hear. And I didn't make a YouTube channel until about 10 months ago. So I started week 1 of last year's season. I grew throughout the season and stuff, but it was like, you know what? And I didn't really know that many people did this because I never really went to YouTube to look at Eagle stuff. If I did, I was looking at highlights. I never came across.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree.
I told, when it comes to the Eagles content creators, I'm cool with both LB, Lord Brunson, and Philly 500. I did streams with them, and they're cool people. And I said, but I didn't see them until I started doing it. Then YouTube started recommending me, and I'm like, oh wow, these guys are deep in the game. They've been doing it for 3 years. It's cool though. But I really only came here to talk birds.
It's a lot of basketball talk channels, but I think it's way less football talk channels. There's so many guys that talk basketball on YouTube, but I don't think it's many as football.
Yeah, definitely. A shout out to Be More Careful, who just came in here a little bit ago. He said, what's up? So that's not the one that's up there a little bit more, but one of my guys, channel member, cool dude, came in, we're only an hour late. It's all good. But yeah, like I said, we're going to kind of wrap it up. Appreciate everybody for stopping by. We still got 63 people in here, hanging out with us for, like I said, a cool hour and 14 minutes. See, this is nothing to them because when I go live myself, I normally right around an hour 20. But when we go live with the two other guys, me and the 2 other guys, Philly Fresh and Gate City, and we call ourselves the Battle Birds Podcast, For
Mhm.
some reason, it's late at night. Little other stuff is going
Yeah,
on.
that's
Also, we rock out for like 4 hours minimum, and it's like
why.
we always say we're getting off in 2 hours, and then it doesn't happen. We did a chat or a conversation, but that's what they were. I seen the chat saying, "Show her about the 4 hour marathon." I said, "No, no," and plus we make sure it's not a weekday as well. I work in the morning and stuff.
Yeah, we got stuff to do.
Got stuff to do, but hey, Bill Belichick is plotting something. Yeah, yo, did you see the Adam Schefter tweet or whatever? I don't know if you be on Twitter, but he said that there was a text asking Bill Belichick, like, is he plotting something with all these guys on the Patriots mainly?
You never know.
Opting out.
You literally never know with them, especially since they were saying about like how it affects like the cap space. You never know what they're planning. You know what I mean?
Definitely. So, like I said, appreciate for some of the guys just coming in here and saying what's up. Like I said, if you haven't done it already, make sure you check out Simone with the Sports. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. She gonna keep it Philadelphia Eagles stuff with the passion, but she's still gonna keep you up to date with all these other teams, especially when some good news breaks.
Yeah.
She's one of the people who thought that Seattle won that trade over the Jets. Do you want to explain your take on that real quick before we get out of here?
So Seattle is a team that's been ready to win. They keep making it close in these past couple of years and just don't get over the hump. So I feel like they're really just trying to literally win now. I know everybody's trying to win now, but there's a lot of teams that keep getting close as of late, and they just haven't been able to get over the hump. So I feel like Seattle is definitely all the chips in team right now. The Jets obviously aren't winning anything right now. Seattle is like, okay, we got to push all of our chips in, get this whatever piece we need to solidify ourselves as the NFC champions. Also,
real quick, shout out, hey Ed, if you're still in here, we were just talking about the Washington football team. I was saying, look, I got a guy who's does great content for the Washington football team. His content's great. What he's talking about, I really don't pay attention to, but his content is good. I'm just kidding. And shout out to Ed Oliver for stopping by. Yeah, we definitely gonna have to do another stream before week 1, my guy. We definitely gonna.
But yeah, I feel like they definitely trying to put all their chips in and win now. And one of my friends at the local radio station here, 92.9 The Game, shout out. They made a good point. They were saying how Seattle, they don't usually use their first round picks. They might trade or do whatever. So it's not really much to them to be giving up all those first round picks. But I definitely think it's 2020. Anything definitely can happen. So definitely put all your chips in now, because you never know what's going to happen tomorrow in 2020. So I think they're like, we need this piece in Jamal Adams. Our secondary was some mid before him. Let's, do what we got to do.
Yeah, when it comes to that, I agree with you on the fact that I think you could really look at it as a win-win for both.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You don't want a player who don't want to play with you or
yeah, for sure.
Wise. And hey, they got more than what the Bears gave away for Khalil Mack. And pass rushers are a big thing in this league. I mean, like, pass rushers on the defense side of the ball, pass rushers are important. It starts everything. It can make a suspect secondary look good if they only got 2.5-3 seconds to throw the ball to quarterback.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, I definitely think it was a win-win, but I don't like when people are like Seattle lost. It was definitely a win-win, because the Jets they're not looking at a championship right now. They're looking at the future.
Shout out to my guy Ed Oliver. Appreciate the super chat, my guy. He said, football team beating y'all week 1. But wait, what football team? There's 32 of them. Oh,
right.
I forgot. My bad. Nah, I'm just playing. But yeah, though, we definitely got to get on a stream together. Definitely talk about it once we get closer. And we know 100%, we going to get a season, not too many coronavirus things spike up. It should be good. But yeah, so appreciate it. Like I said, as the first one, I really do it. Like, there's some giant content creators I like. Bad Dog is the only one. But I like talking football with other NFC East people because again, we don't like each other. But at the end of the day, let's just keep it 100% about football. Ain't nobody got to take things personal.
Right.
Football.
Right.
Shout out to Be More Careful, channel member. Appreciate the super chat, my guy. He said Ed Oliver. That's funny. Funny. But yeah, definitely. Like I said, we got 54 people still in here. Make sure you smash this like button on the way out. If you're just coming in, smash it. It only takes a second and it's free. You know what I mean? You gotta watching the football team, supporting the channel, paying $5. You can't even smash a like button. I'm just playing. My guys keep it, they cool peoples. Bird Gang 336, when she's coming back, Mike. Yeah, they already, you know what I'm saying? Definitely
Is that 336 Greensboro?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm from Greensboro too.
Yep. And so I don't know how much he likes NC State, but like I said, the guy, he didn't come through, but he'll definitely rewatch this on the beginning. Like, he probably won't watch the whole hour, but he's gonna catch that. He'll text me. He'll be like, "Yo, another NC State." I'm all like, "Yep." With that being said, Ed Oliver in the house, yeah. But what I want to say is, for those who want her to come back here, you can also again check her out on YouTube with typing in the search bar Simone with the sports, subscribing. She puts out content a decent amount of times a week. I don't know about every day, but she definitely does. She put one up just yesterday?
Yeah.
So definitely, but like I said, go subscribe to her channel. When I'm done, I'm gonna check her channel. I better see her at least in the 160s, no less than the 160s, right? When I subscribed to her a day or two ago, she was at 125. She was just at 140 earlier. She got to be at least 150, 160. No excuses. We got people in here to get her to 160, no less than 160. But if she's cool with it, we could definitely have her on here again. Like I said, she spitting facts.
Not Andre Dillard versus Chase Young. You see that?
Yeah. Who said that?
Cameron Holmes.
Cameron Holmes said Andre Dillard versus Chase Young. Who y'all got? Good. You want to touch on that real quick?
Who do I want? Andre Dillard, but I mean Chase Young is nasty. And the Redskins, they got a good D-line as well. So I'm definitely interested to see that matchup. Of course, I want to win, but I love seeing good matchups, good games. That's going to be a good matchup for sure. Chase Young is going to be ready to get out and make a splash. He's very energized, and he's going to be ready to make a statement.
I'm definitely not happy to play against that guy, twice a year for the foreseeable future. And hey, if the Washington football team got one thing that they can lay their hat on, and that is the D-line. I mean, Jonathan Allen, they got Ryan Kerrigan still, they got Montrez Sweat. Now they add Chase Young. They legitimately can have a top 5 defensive line in the game. The one thing that they do got that we're going to be able to attack week 1 is they got Ronald Darby starting at one of the cornerbacks.
Oh, they can have him.
So he's going to have to man up against D-Jack. That's going to be funny.
That's going to be fun. Now he's going to pancake him. Let's not say that. Let's not say that.
And the way Ronald Darby plays, Carson only needs about 2 seconds to throw it up, and D-Jack's going to be at least 10 yards separation.
Yeah, I'm definitely ready to see him play
again. But shout out to Larry Phillips. Shout out to Murph Kenzo saying support the channel, subscribe if you're new. If you're new to the Philly Talk podcast, hit that button too. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to get to 5K before a year's up. So I got 2 months, September 2nd?
Not months.
Huh?
You said for the year? It's July.
August, September. Yeah. No, 1 month. I got 1 month.
You said before the year is up?
No, September. No, because that's when my year anniversary is on YouTube.
You
got 5K in a year.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get there.
We close. We need like 400 more. I got a month. Let's get it, guys. So, especially with football coming back. But and
then basketball coming back too.
Yeah, we gotta get that. Let's go Sixers. Let's keep it 100. Dillard can't stop a bull rush. You're right. I ain't gonna front. Dillard's good with the speedsters, but the bull rush is where he had a problem. That's why he played so good decent against Khalil Mack in that Bears game, but was struggling with Leonard Floyd. But, that's what the offseason's for, which we're not getting much of. He needs to get that strength up. Oh, man, Chase Young is better than Bosa. I hope he don't cause us trouble. Hey, I agree. Look, I'm a realist when it comes to around the thing. That's why I'm not quick to say the Cowboys receivers are not going to be hard to D. Like, I think we could beat them.
Yeah.
It's going to be a task to shut
it down. Definitely going to be a task.
Yeah. Now we can mix match some coverages. We do got Slay, so that helps us out. But yeah, that pass rush for the Washington football team is going to be pretty good. I said already, subscribe, fam. Get Philly 500 and Brunson back. Yeah, we going to do some more collabs with them, too. They my guys. Like I said, they're the OGs of it when it comes down to it. But, see, if we keep going off the chat, they'll never let us down. They're good with keeping us. They're going
to ask some real questions.
Yeah, they'll ask a question that you're like, oh, I want to answer this. And then
right, you be here all day.
But definitely check out the channel that she got going on. I'm going to check. Like I said, y'all better do what y'all got to do. On that note, do you have anything you want to say else? Do you have any topic that you think you want to touch on real quick before we legit bounce?
I'm trying to think. Did I get your opinion on everything? We talked about the running backs. We talked about linebacker. We talked about the corners. Who you got in the Super Bowl? Last question.
I gotta go with the biased hometown, so I'm gonna rock with the Eagles. You know what I mean? I got the Eagles in the NFC, and in the AFC, I don't want to just put the Chiefs up there but
it's hard. It's definitely hard.
It's hard because legitimately they're that team that could possibly come back. If it's not. And see, honestly, I think the NFC is more open. Like there's better teams. Like we might have the two top teams in the Chiefs and Ravens, but the rest of them are like,
yes,
compared to the NFC. Got the Eagles are going to try to contend. The Saints, the Packers, the Niners, the Cowboys, the Vikings.
Yeah.
Hey, your home team, not your team, but the team you got to cover. The Falcons might make noise because they had a lot of injury problems too.
Yeah, they were definitely riddled with injuries. They got a good piece in Dante. I know they're definitely interested in Clowney as well. Matt got a lot to prove. A lot of people saying Matt a scrub. He got a lot to prove. Julio hungry. Who knows? They're not terrible, and they had a lot of injuries last season.
Yeah. So you pretty much write columns for all the Atlanta teams, right? You said?
Yeah. So I work for the newspaper here. Not sure if y'all heard of the AEBL, but it's like the Atlanta version of the Drew League. The Drew League, the basketball league.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Atlanta version here. So I get to be involved, and a lot of like the NBA guys come to play in that league. So that's where I get to like network and meet different people. So yeah.
Go on WIP tomorrow and tell Joe that Wentz is underrated. Yeah. They just extended the top 100 to 110 and Wentz still get him out of here.
Right.
He got to be a Cowboy fan. Get him out of here. Get him out. I'm mad I went that far into it. Do you think CeeDee Lamb is actually a threat in the slot position?
Of course. I mean, it's CeeDee Lamb. I don't think it's going to take the Cowboys like, oh, that was the missing piece they need. They already had a great wide receiver core. Like I said, Randall Cobb had 150 yards short of 1,000 yards. They were almost the top productive wide receiver trio. They couldn't really get much better there. So I don't think it was necessarily something that was going to take them over the edge. Yes, he's going to be something we got to watch out for, but I don't think it's anything new. Cowboys already had a dynamic offense. Yeah,
and I agree 100%. Like, I'm just nervous that if Jason Garrett was the problem, we'll see how it changes. But
I'm definitely nervous about that too, because he has some very, very questionable play calling, and who knows, Mike McCarthy could be what they were missing. You never know.
Yeah, see, you put some true serum in me. I'm a little nervous about that. I still don't really know how Mike McCarthy is though, because one Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers, like, come on.
And Aaron in his prime.
Yeah, so
not just Aaron, but Aaron in his prime. Aaron in his bag. Like
prime, not just prime.
Prime. At his peak, literally the tip. Yeah. That's it's a good take.
It's questionable, but I also know that like McCarthy's going to be, as much as he's going to want to get Zeke involved, he's going to pass more. Sometimes I think they forced Zeke last year. We're not saying Zeke's not that man, because Zeke is the man. He's productive, but they run the ball too much on first down, which makes him kind of predictable. I think McCarthy's either going to be bad or good. I don't think there's no in between. See, Jason Garrett was 8-8, like solid. I can see either good or destruction, but yeah. Knowing that Jason Garrett is blamed, we're going to really see the true colors soon. Mm-hmm. Is it the players? Is it the coach? But I'm not, like I said, although I think McCarthy can call up some plays, he's a little lazy too, getting massages on the weekend and stuff, all that stuff. In Green Bay for it. And again, like you said, prime, one Super Bowl, and then McCarthy leaves, and look, NFC Championship.
Very good point.
So, I hate the Cowboys. I hate them.
We got another Ertz fan in here.
Where? Oh yeah, there it goes. Star Key Little G said, "I feel like Ertz will do some magic." Elaborate on that one for me, Star Key. Do you think he does magic?
You need to type something more out.
Yeah. So, like on some drawn up plays for him, or are you saying he plays like a whole game somehow? Victory says Dallas 7-9. I would love it.
Right.
I would love it.
Garrett just had on the headset. He didn't call any plays.
Who said that?
It's like this. No matter what happens.
Yup. That's one thing. Eli Manning got that same face, and he got that same clap. Who wins the Super Bowl and gets, if he ever won a Super Bowl and he gets poured the Gatorade, he's like, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, there you go. That's the one. Garrett just had a headset on last year, didn't call the plays. Oh yeah, that was, what's his name? Kellen Moore. But I mean, still, the head coach still can get involved. You can veto any call at any time. So, I mean, I feel like when he gets his drawn up plays, he will succeed. Like if he's out there 5 times, he will get you a TD, a huge passing TD or a rushing TD. So you think he's going to show up when he's out there?
Yeah.
But you know what that means for Philly fans? Like, because there's still, listen, although there's a lot of Philly fans that support Carson and think and know that when healthy, the dude is a top 5 talent. You got the guys who are Nick Foles truthers. And because they're Nick Foles
many guys. Literally, I can't. Now, mind you, my mama biased because she is Steelers fan. I literally can't say Carson Wentz while I was saying, well, Nick Foles. I'm like, Ma, he's not a quarterback anymore. Leave that alone. But that whole concept of like, oh, Jalen Hurts is going to bring in the locker room drama. This is sports. They've been having this. It should just fuel you to do better. They've been having that controversy since they started playing football. Little League, you got to earn your spot. They already know that. These are grown professionals. Us saying bring out Jalen Hurts. If that's shaking up Carson, then Carson's not the guy we want anyway. We want somebody who's confident and, settled into who they are. They've had controversy since they've started playing sports. You can say the same thing. Once Dak throws pick, they're going to bring out Andy Dalton. You never know. Yeah. Like, it's not us with that controversy.
Yeah, and I agree. And that's not the reason I don't like the Hurts pick. And again,
I've heard so many different Eagles fans that's why they don't like Jalen Hurts.
Appreciate Murph DeKenzie said like and subscribe both these awesome content creators. You already know. Get that Jason Garrett clap out right quick.
I knew you were gonna say that. It's necessary sometimes.
Oh, there you go. That's why we got rid of him. Dallas Cowboys for life. Yeah. There's a lot of Cowboy fans who tune in who just come out there coming crazy, but there's also the Cowboy fans who keep it football, blah, blah, take a shot here and there. I ain't mad at the game when it comes to that. Prince, I agree. He said Miles Sanders 1,000-yard rusher this year. Facts. I'm with it. But I do want to say this now that we were on that topic. Again, it was never the fact that I think Jalen Hurts is going to, get unfair criticism to Carson. I just feel like what was left in the draft at that time, I was like, dang, man, it could be like 2020 starters. And say Carson comes out, he's healthy, does what he needs to do, then we have a guy who just held the clipboard. Or maybe he comes in for some Taysom Hill type plays. I don't know. We'll see how that works. But
I definitely agree with that. But like Larry Phillips was saying, since Carson is, injury prone, he can be that guy who can, take those hits, when we at the goal line or whatever, those third down, he can be the guy to take those hits, and Carson doesn't have to take those unnecessary hits, in unnecessary games. Obviously, if the game is on the line, of course, we want to have Carson in there, but we don't need to have him on the field. We can preserve him.
Yeah, that's all true. And like I said, I say this all the time. When I say that Carson Wentz is the top 3 or top 5, I say when he's on the field, I do see concerns. But real quick, shout out to Cool Eagle for the super chat. He said Nick Foles is on his 3rd team in 4 years. You always got to keep that in perspective.
Thank you, Cool Eagle. That's always my argument as well.
Yep. But this is the thing. I'm not going to hold back. Listen, I love Foles for what he did.
That's my Super Bowl MVP.
He put a ring.
Right, he put a ring on it, but it's football, baby. You got to keep it moving. I love LaShawn too, and he done went. I love Andy Reid. It's just you keep it moving.
And that's where it comes down to. So I don't understand if people feel like they got to pick Foles or Wentz. No, I'm always going to remember Foles. But at the end of the day, when we had to make that decision, you couldn't keep both of them. You can't pay a backup that much money. We had to keep Carson.
Has his injuries too, so I don't like it when I hear, Carson, we need to go. Nick Foles has had injuries since college as well. He's
never finished.
He backed us up before. It's the reason why he ain't had a starting spot.
Correct. And then again, when he finally he just came off the Super Bowl. He goes to Jacksonville. He can show people that he got it. And it's not like he really got the show at first because he got hurt ASAP. Yeah. And then he got benched for Gardner Minshew. That's neither here or there. But let me say this about Carson. The one reason I'm kind of confident that I could see him play a full healthy season in 2020 is because he showed it to me last year. And it wasn't like he wasn't getting sacked. He was still one of the most sacked quarterbacks in the NFL because of all the injuries to our offensive line, that he was sacked, hit, beat up, played 16 games. And in the playoffs, if he would have broke his wrist, sprained his ankle, if he would have did something, bone, ligament, something like that, I'd have been like, well, here we go again. It was a freak
accident. It would have took anybody out.
Yeah.
Literally.
This will be an odd season. I do believe the chances of all teams being healthy will be unlikely. So this is the one time Hurts will get playing time. I'm sure of it now. Well, who knows if, that's another thing that I see the Eagles are going to do possibly, and a lot of teams are going to try to quarantine one quarterback because you don't want a quarterback that you feel like you can win with to get coronavirus. Or imagine all 3 of your quarterbacks get coronavirus. Say that room gets coronavirus. You can't just pick up a quarterback.
I would hate the sole dude in quarantine, though. Like, imagine quarantining and the guy never gets hurt. You just in quarantine for no reason.
Yeah, but you know how the coronavirus is if like one person gets it, people that you are around. So a quarterback room is so small. So say Nate Sudfeld gets it and then gives it to all the quarterbacks. Now we got to throw Greg Ward Jr. What's up though?
That's true.
But yeah, man, I think it's going to be a real interesting season. It's going to be abnormal. But we're not going to complain because we just desperate for some football.
It's literally just desperate.
Nick Foles will become the starter, but by week 3, Foles will be benched for Trubisky.
Now, talk about some controversy. They got some controversy over there.
They do. That's a legit 50-50 who's going to win it. That's another thing now. No preseason. So no preseason. Carson is a dog. He'll be out this year, no doubt. He'll ball out this year, no doubt. Carson will be fine this year. But let me get this last take, and I'm legitly we gonna say our goodbyes. No, I'm just kidding. No preseason. The fact that we have a lot of new pieces, not just on offense. We're gonna ask. First of all, we're going to ask our injured guys to come back and play. They haven't played in a while. We're going to ask rookies to play receiver minutes because, we didn't have no receivers. We're going to ask a big secondary of trade packages. Will Parks, Darius Slay, Nikel Roby-Coleman, Jalen Mills being a safety. He did it in college, but that was a long time ago. How do you think preseason affects us compared to a team like, I'm not saying these teams because they're good, but like the Chiefs are bringing 20 of their 22 starters back. The Saints are bringing like 20 or 19 of the 22 starters. So they got the same team just running it back. With our team being different, how much does it affect us?
I feel like it's not going to affect us any more than it'll affect another team, just because in these last couple of seasons, we have seen that how injuries have really affected us. So this is not the first time we have brand new guys on the field. We've had brand new guys on the field in the middle of the season, and it's really came down to our coaching and our play calling. And we've got those guys back. So as long as, that leadership is there, then I feel like we're going to be just as good as any other team who's, in the same situation, got a lot of new different guys starting. We've definitely proved that we can, we can take average talent and make him look better just off the system and off of the play calling and coaching. Super Bowl 52, for example, just, but even just last year, we had a lot of different guys playing different positions that they wouldn't normally play just because we had so many injuries. So I think that's something that, is a blessing in disguise because we're definitely built for it this season. And a lot of these other coaches and a lot of these other players who play in a system and then they get in another one and they don't look like that stud that they look like, when everything was built around them, we're definitely going to see them shook, but I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I agree that everybody's going to get treated the same because it is. But I do think there's teams that would like to get some games where they can get that chemistry.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Get it? Yeah, but we ain't getting it.
We do have one.
Yeah, duh.
We do have one preseason game.
It's just, I thought they said they canceled all of them.
We play Washington week 1.
Oh, okay, chill out, because like they were saying, Andre versus Chase.
Yeah, listen.
Chase Young.
Trust me, the way I'm going to get on the stream with my guy, Ed Oliver, and it was a real mellow stream last time, but this next one, if it's close to week 1, it's not going to be mellow. And so, knock on fake wood, no way we're going to be able to lose to the Washington football team week 1. That's the way, true. You know what I mean? Whew.
No way.
With that being said, appreciate you coming on the channel. Like I said, I think the feedback was great. The chat loved you. Real quick, this last one, because he's a channel member. Mike and Simone, are you worried that the Eagles want Reagor to learn all receiver positions like they did JJ Arcega-Whiteside last season?
No, I'm not worried. Like I said, I don't know if you were in earlier, but JJ just doesn't give me that versatile. He doesn't give me athletic vibes. He's very stiff in his movements. I feel like Reagor, like we said, in college, he made his quarterback look way better than he was. So now he's coming to play with one of the best quarterbacks we've already agreed in the league. I feel like Jalen Reagor would be very, very successful and will be able to be a flexible guy in or out the slot. He's got a good size on him and he's very speedy. So I think he will, do what we need and expect him to do.
Chris Kaufman said, can you post her channel link? I can't find it. I will post it. I actually, because I was trying to, we were going through some technical difficulties, not difficulties, but I was trying to find it. But are you sure you can't find it with Simone with the sports? Actually just type in, I think you have as your background Simone with the sports, but I think to get your YouTube is just Simone Stanley actually. Because, I see on your channel, it's Simone with the sports, and you're right, I was kind of like, but yeah, so for the people in here, I bet you You up to 156 anyway, so 157 now. So I'd say we need to get to that 160. But Chris, Kaufman, and the other 56 people in here, just type in Simone Stanley in the search bar, and she'll pop up. She got a Philadelphia Eagles Marquise Goodwin video as her last one. You know what I'm saying? And it's doing good. Like I said, I wanted to get 160, so we might as well just stay on here until we get 160. You know, real quick. No, I'm just kidding. We about to get out of here, but you'll get 160.
He said he found it under Simone with the Sports. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. We're gonna figure
it out. I definitely typed in Simone with the Sports, and it came up.
Oh, like the podcast. We just did a video together.
Yeah. What's going on, Philly? Yeah, he's been with me for a little bit, and I saw his channel early and try to throw it out there. Like, we didn't do a stream together, but normally when I get a couple people in here, if somebody comments who has a channel, I normally try to tell the chat, go ahead and check them out. I never force you to subscribe, but if you watch a video and you like it, you know what to do. Hit that button. So, but yeah, so Simone with the Sports or Simone Stanley, I they come up both ways. Just that when I'm on your YouTube channel, where my name would say the Philly Talk Podcast.
Mm-hmm. Mine says Simone Stanley.
Yeah. And see, whenever he says something, I always think like, was that me? Because it's so close, Philly instead of Philly Talk.
Right.
It's crazy. He said I missed everything.
It's SY Rock, not SI.
Yeah. SY. But yeah, so even we get off right now, you definitely gonna hit that 160 mark, and like I said, she gonna be staying consistent. So you know. Hey, good contact, just it all comes. But honestly, the first 500 are the hardest. Once you get past 500,
they say the first 100. Now I'm confused. I'm just playing.
No, it really is the first 5 though. The first 5 is tough, but you know. He said, Mike, you gotta have her back on the chat. Subscribe to Simone with the Sports. Support Battle Bird Nation. Yeah, you already know.
For sure.
See, there you go, Philly the podcast. Everyone go show love to Simone with the Sports. She's killing it, y'all. You already know. That's what we do. Sub, so right there, we got it, man.
Yay, welcome, Chris.
And it's cool because, like I said, I just had a goal at 160 before we get off here, and like I think we definitely are going to hit it because we at 158 now. So that's going to be hit. Appreciate everybody for coming through. Check her out. If you're new and you haven't subbed the podcast, the Philly Talk Podcast, make sure you do it. I know there's like 50% of the people who watch my videos are not subscribed. The analytics tell me. They tell me. I mean, why search me up if you just don't watch it?
Check out.
Yeah, right. It's cool though. I ain't mad. Appreciate all the viewers. Appreciate the channel members who really support the channel heavy. Like I said, I didn't get merchandise out because of the pandemic, so we gonna have some shirts, hats, Philly Talk Podcast gear. We gonna get it out there. So appreciate all you guys. Merv Kenzo's all happy. He was like, I was number 140. You gonna hold that close to your heart, my guy. I hear you.
Right, but thanks, Merv. Shout out 140.
You already know. Yeah, so you want to say goodbye to the chat? Let them know you know.
Thanks everyone for the subscriptions. I can't wait to do some more videos. I love doing videos and talking about the Eagles, my passion. Yeah, I love, the way we can come together and all agree. Like literally one of my best moments since being in Atlanta, I've only been in Atlanta for a year and a half, was going to watch the Bears game, the wild card game. So literally I didn't know there were so many Eagles fans in Atlanta, and I really didn't want to go out to watch the game because I didn't know anybody. But I went out, and when I tell y'all, Eagles Nation was heavy. We were heavy, and they were literally singing the fight song. Everybody in there like family. And that's why I love Eagles Nation, and I thank y'all for supporting my channel. And thanks for asking great questions.
He said, I'm going to unsubscribe and subscribe to feel like part of the family. We at 162. Let's go. Yay! On that note, we hit our goal. Appreciate everybody for coming through. You know how I end this. Make sure you hit that like button on the way out. I see y'all dropping out. Hit that like button. Stay cool. Like I said, I got my Graylin Arnold video. halfway done. Didn't get it done today because I wanted to talk about my man Sherhan Avant. Make sure you go check that video out if you haven't done it already. But you know what time it is.
Bye, everyone.